I Can you hear me, or is it, or the drums?
Yeah, we hear you.
Drums is bothering?
Not so bad.
Okay, hopefully we'll get it to stop.
Maybe it'll keep us up.
No, tonight's stuff is interesting enough. It should keep dialing up. All right, let's go. Yeah, so we're up. We're on Samach Tes Amud Aleph on the top. Yeah, you need a Gemara right there. Right there. Yeah. Okay, so what we said is that the kohanim would take off their clothing and fold it and put it under their heads. So that's hana, right? I mean, they're using it as pillows. So shamas mina vikte kahuna and right. So we hear from this. Yeah, sorry, that's the problem with using my phone, but it's too. My iPad was dead. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, so sorry again. So shamas mina vikte kahuna nitnu lahanas ben. So we hear from this that big day kahuna, you can get hana, because otherwise, why are they folding the clothing and putting it under their head? It doesn't mean they put it under the head. It means they put it next to the head. That your tefillin, you're allowed to put it to the next to your head when you're sleeping, right? And it's not a problem, right? Rashi, so we have a little Machlokes Rashi Tosfos here, right? I mean, we're not afraid that if you're gonna pass gas with the tefillin next to your head, then it's not an issue with the tefillin next to your head, right? Tosfos says that's more of a problem of we're afraid that you're going to roll over on top of them, or that's the way Tosfos seems like that. We're not worried either way. But so again, Rashi's worried about the gas issue, and Tosfos is worried about that you're going to roll over on top of them. So Hachanam mistaver back in the Gemara. The Gemara says it's mistaver the keneged Rashayan, that it means next to the head. Because if you think that it means under the head, but typically mishum klayim, why don't you say that it's a problem because of klayim? Right, and this goes back on a Machlokes that we had. I don't even remember how many blot ago, but about what the belt of the kohen gadol was made out of. Yeah, the ha'ika avneit, because you have the avneit, the belt of the kohen gadol. Yeah, so we're saying and it granted you, and it's even if you're going to say that you could be nana from it, hamas hani miklayim, but you're going to be getting hana from klayim. So what about, so elamai must be, it's not a klayim issue, and it's not a getting hana issue, because it means that you go next, you put it next to it. So hani chalamad, the meaning next to the head. So when it says hani chalamad damar abnei the shokayin gadol, so abnei the shokayin hedjit, that the belt of the kohen gadol was a belt of a kohen hedjit. Right, so then there was no klayim there, so that's what the Gemara doesn't mention anything about klayim. The belt that the kohen gadol wore on Yom Kippur was not the belt that the regular kohanim wore a whole year, right? So what are you going to say with that? It should have been klayim. So Gemara says v'chitem a klayim b'levisha. Maybe klayim is only also when you wear it. V'alahu the assur. I'm sorry, b'levisha v'alahu the assur, that wearing it and putting it on you is what's assur. B'hatzah shari, but using it as putting it under you, that's mutter. But Tani, we learned in the B'laisa, lo yala alecha, you're not supposed to put shatnez on you. Aval atam mutter latziyah tachtecha, and you're allowed to put it under you. Aval amru chachamim also lasses kein shemet tichrach nima achas al basari, but you're not allowed to put it under you because you might wrap one string of shatnez might come and wrap itself on your basar, and you're going to be benefiting from it. Meaning the Bryce is saying the ikar din, according to the Torah, the assur klayim is only to put it on you or to wear it. The rabbanon assur even putting it under you because they're afraid that one string is going to come out from the klayim, wrap around your body, and then it's gonna what do you call it? Then it's gonna give a and then it's good. You're gonna be over, right? That's the ma'isa with the stipler when the Chazon Ish was a shotgun. Let me put on my headphones. Maybe it'll be less. Okay, hold on 1 second, please. Hold on.
Byron, maybe we should play like some music or something. We'll start shooting T-shirts out to the crowd.
Put on 14 minutes of ginger baker. Yeah, see, I'm in Paris. You have to repeat to your brother about the air conditioner in your mother's house because I don't think he heard you.
Maybe he's on his way over there. No, we left it on for the minion. Where's Liner? We broke the record. This week's minion, we broke the record. I think we did Baruch Hu at 10:15, and we were finished davening by 11:08. I think. Give out.
Nice.
Give out. That's the way to daven. It's just davening. That's it. Just davening. One kid didn't want the aliyah. We gave it to him anyway. You know what I mean? So that was a little kratz around. But he got yelled at for taking his time.
So you could have finished 32 seconds earlier.
Yeah, and a chanami.
I'm saying that delayed it a little.
Where I davened mincha today, the guy who got the aliyah made the bracha was longer than we took us to get from Rishon to Shlishi. Just his bracha alone.
That's not good. He left.
Yeah. Liner, it's all your fault, Liner.
Maybe the drums was bothering him.
What I do?
I won't put it on.
Because
Okay,
you left
what-
your
what-
video. Because you left your video on. Things were going on in the background that nobody should see. Yaakov left. He got insulted.
My smart behind me.
Whatever. Your kid was there. It was wasn't very proper.
We saw the Likutei Maran on your shang.
Yeah. So the Rav Cook's farm.
Hello. You hear me?
We're here.
Yeah. We're just waiting for the lights, Yaakov, over the bullpen. Then we could start. Is it
Light
over the
over the
bullpen?
bullpen?
Where's the light that tells them when the TV they could start the game when the TV commercials back?
Oh, no, sorry. That's Leviah Shiloh. So I had to, whatever. Anyways, okay.
This was the Einin from Erev Shabbos?
Yes, the Einin from Erev Shabbos. Yes. You can't get through to me. So he drives by. Einin drives by. So now I had to figure, okay, I got to answer. I can't make the guy get in his car and come over here, right? You think so, right? I hope the Olam's Michael. But yeah. Anyways, so this is the Maisa with the stipler. I don't know the Maisa with the stipler when the Chazon Ish was meshadach the stipler with his his sister, right? His sister, his sister, and the stipler came on the date, whatever room they were sitting in, and he fell asleep. He fell asleep on the date. So the Chazon Ish says, "I'm not going out with this guy." He comes on the date and he falls asleep. So he went to the stipler. So what's the story? He says, "Well, I knew I was going to be on a train." So I wasn't gonna be able to learn. So I stayed up a whole night. Figuring I'll sleep on the train when going to the shidduch. But then I saw the cushions and I thought it was a suffix. It's a suffix midirabanan of shatnez. So I stood up the whole time. So I didn't sleep. So I haven't slept in 2 days. So I'm sorry, I fell asleep. So they said, so Chazon Ish went to this, give him another chance. Give him another chance, and it's this. The rest is history, as they say. And now you have Reb Chaim, correct? Now you have Reb Chaim. So yeah. Anyways, so he was chayshiv for a suffix derabanan. The stipler was chayshiv for, right? And we're going to see weiter in Gemara. Maybe even that chashash wasn't a chashash, because we'll see that weiter. Either way, Either way, so that's what the Gemara. So this is the Gemara saying that it's either way. It's also the Rabbanan. So that's not an option to say that that sitting on the climb is not a problem. So v'chitema on the last thin line. V'chitema the mafsikle midei beini. And if you say, okay, maybe they put something in between the begadim under the kohen's head that had shatnez, maybe they put down a sheet or something like that, so there would be no string. Amar Rav Shimon ben Pazi, Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Amar Rabbi Mishum Kila Kedisha Shabi Yerushalayim. Afilu Esa Matzah Zual Gavzu. Even if you have 10 pillows, one on top of the other, to climb tachtein and climb under them, also lishan aleim, it's also to sleep on them. So that's not an option either. That they put down something in between his clothing. Elalav Shma Minov Keneged Rashayan must be that it was Keneged Rashayan for two reasons, right? Because of shatnez and because of being Nena Shma Minov. So that's what it means. It does not mean that the Kehanim used their big day kahuna as a pillow. They just put it next to the head. It could really be under the head. Oh, but they're getting hanof from Klayim. Big day kahuna the big day kahuna are stiff. They're hard. So since they're hard, there's going to be no strings coming out of it. The hard, like a hard clothing of neresh is mutter, because there's no strings coming out of it. Yeah, so therefore, that's so Mamela, the kohen gadol, the kohen's clothing was hard, and therefore there was no chashash for a nima. That's what I'm saying, that the stipler wasn't even kosher for this either, because a chaira is hard, a seat on a train is hard, right? And there was no chashash of a string coming out, yet the stipler was still kosher for it.
I thought he was
saying,
like.
How can you say the Kohen's?
One second.
How can you
Go
say the
ahead.
Kohen's clothes was hard? We have so many different cases where he spent thousands and thousands of dollars on the clothes. That it's soft, supple clothing. It's not. You don't spend thousands to buy a burlap sack. You don't spend $5,000.
Right, and I don't. Maybe those clothing weren't. Right? I don't know. What are you saying, Gershon?
Is the word here that they're hard so no strings come loose, or there's no hana?
No, no strings coming loose, I thought. Why is there no hana?
Because you want a hard pillow or a soft pillow? Rashi says ve'enan mischamimim. They don't warm you up because they're hard. They're just thin, hard
That wasn't
clothes.
the issue. What?
Rashi says
No, so then
ve'enan
this-
mischamim.
Right. So then right. So and Toisus, right. So Toisus has a whole thing, because then it's mashma according to Rashi that they could even wear it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what's that's shver with Rashi, but the whole chashash is the nima coming out. That's where the Gemara was coming from. No.
Well, no, that's what the problem with Hatzadik. There was a gzeira mishum Hatzadik because of the
Right.
spread coming out. But if you get around the whole shatnez issue, it's not, according to Rashi, it's not shatnez. I don't care if five.
According to Rashi, it's not China as well. That's that long Toisus there.
Right.
So then, okay, anachanami. So according to that, that's not the string that's the issue. It's the hard. Yeah. Okay. So So Toshima. So now a new stuff. So that's the end of the Kahanim putting under the head. And then another, I'll say a famous Gemara coming up. Not necessarily. It's a famous Gemara. Yeah, Toshima. The big day Kahuna. Yotzeben the Medina assur. So big day Kahuna that you go out to the Medina is assur with Mikdash. And the Beis Hamikdash, bein b'shas avoda, bein shalei b'shas avoda, mutter. But in the Beis Hamikdash, they're allowed to wear it, even if whether they're working, whether they're not working. They should big day kahuna nitnu lihanas ben, right? Because big day kahuna, you can be nana from them, right? Meaning, in the Beis Hamikdash, they're allowed to be nana from them. Yeah, meaning whether he's working, whether he's not working, as long as in the Beis Hamikdash, the Ganim are allowed to wear the clothes. Once they leave the Beis Hamikdash, then it's going to be assur. Yeah, fine. So Shmamino. So that's what it is. That's the pshara. In the Beis Hamikdash, yes. Out of the Beis Hamikdash, not. So when it says Medina loy, are they not allowed to wear their clothing in the Medina? Vatanya, this is about as long a kasha as you're going to get. Vatanya, the Esem v'chamisha b'teves Yom Har Grizim. On the 25th day of Teves was a Yom Tif called Har Grizim. The loy lemisped, and no hespedim can be said on that day. Yom Shabikshu Kusiyim as basically getting Alexandros Moikton Lachriva. That was the day that the Kusiyim asked from Alexander Moikton, right, to destroy the Beis Hamikdash. And he gave them reshus. Shimon Hatzadik. They went and told Shimon Hatzadik, Ma also, what did he do? Lavash big day kahuna. He wore the big day kahuna, but Asata the big day kahuna, and he wrapped himself in big day kahuna. Umiyakiri Yisrael imay, and the Chashuvim Klai Yisrael with him. Bavuka shalar biyadain, and they had torches of or in their hands. V'chala laila halalu halchem mitzadzeh, halalu halchem mitzadzeh. So the whole night, the Yidden were coming from one side, and the Kusim were coming from the other side, right? They were all both going towards Alexander. Until Amud Shachar, and then Kivan Shal Amud Shachar. Once it started getting light, Amr Lahem. So he said to them, "Yeah, Mi halalu, who are these people?" Meaning Alexander said to them, "Who are these people?" To the Kusim, Amr La Yehudim Shemar Dubach. Those are the Yidden that are rebelling against you. Kiva and Shagil how do you pronounce this? Antipartis, right? Once he got to, I guess that's a town, right? So then it was already sunrise, and they met each other. Kiva Shirol the Shimon Hatzadik, when Alexander saw Shimon Hatzadik, he got off his horse and he bowed down to him. Amrulai Melech Gadol K'moischa Yishtachave Yehudi Zeh. Somebody so great like you gets off and bows down to Shimon Hatzadik. I see a picture of this fellow every time I go out to war. This fellow appears to me, so that's why I'm bowing down to him. So then he turned to them and said, Lama Basim, why'd you come here? Could it be that the house, the place that they daven on you for you, that you shouldn't get destroyed? Are they gonna convince you? The guy are gonna convince you to destroy it? So Alexander said to them, who are you? Amrulai Kusim Halalu. The Kusim said, Amrulai said to him, Kusim Halalu Shaimdu Lefanecha. That's the Yidden said, it's the Shimon Hatzadik said, it's the Kusim that you're hanging out with right now. It's almost very similar to the story with Achashverosh and Esther. They're yours. They're handed over to you. So Miyad, they made a hole in their feet. The Talmud Bezan was the same, and then they hung them on the tails of their horses. And they would drag them on the thorns. And Barkan was also a type of thorns. Until they got to Hagrizim. Hagrizim was there, the Kusim's Lahavdil, their holy place. Since he got to Hagrizim, so they plowed there. They plowed and they planted kashinim, right? That's the type of vegetable. Exactly what the Kusim wanted to do to us. Because of the nace that happened, so they made it into a Yom Tif. So what's the kasha? So you see, Shimon Hatzadik put on the kohen gadol's begadim, even though he was outside the Beis Hamikdash. Okay, so the Gemara has two tirutzim.
What kind of kasha is that, Mr. Yaakov? Please.
I have no idea.
What kind of kasha is that?
I don't know.
Come on. I mean, please.
100%. 100%. It's interesting because the teretz is the second teretz. The teretz that's pasha to us that you're asking is the second teretz.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The first teretz is Iba saying Maruya in the big day kahuna. Right? The first one is that he didn't really wear big day kahuna. He wore clothing that was right for big day kahuna. Right? The Iba is Ema, the second teretz. You hear me? Did it freeze?
Okay.
Oh, we're good. Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
It was an ace. Okay, good. Thank you. So ace lasses Lashem. The second heritage was an ace lasses, so you had to do it. What does it mean? Ace lasses Hashem and say when you need to do something. So we take away the Torah. So he needed it to save Klal Yisrael. What was what's the Havamina? Right? We don't know. That's what Baron's asking. What is the Havamina here? Of course.
I mean, Eis Lasis Lashem is not a pasha to answer.
Yeah,
Can't
he
do
needed
any
to save
Aveira
Klal
B'Faresya.
Yisrael.
So it's an Aveira B'Faresya. So they were forced. Everything's Yargo Yavro.
No, but there wasn't a gezerah against wearing the begodim out of the Beis Hamikdash.
Even if it wasn't, they're forcing him to do an Aveira.
But he wasn't. Who was forcing him to do an Aveira?
If that's the only way to say it, you need Eis Lasis Hashem. Eis Lasis Hashem, the Gemara never likes it.
I understand that, but I'm saying the truth is, why did the Gemara just say it was Pikuach Nefesh? The only thing I could think is maybe it wasn't Pikuach Nefesh to put on the Big Day Kahuna. Maybe he could have accomplished it without wearing the Big Day Kahuna.
But you see not. You see from Alexander's there, it's not.
Right, because he saw him dressed like that in front of him. Had he not been wearing the begodim, then it wouldn't have been. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, whatever it is. Fine. Okay, so let's see about it. Chazan Knesses Noitel Sefer Torah. So we said, right, the Chazan gives it over to the what do we call him? The president. That I remember. I just don't remember the lashon of the word. Right, and then to the Skan. Right, the Skan, and then to the Kohen Gadol. So Shmami no Cholkin cover the Talmud b'Makom Harav, that you're allowed to give kavod to a Talmud in Makom Harav, meaning there's a whole shaila whether you're allowed to give kavod to a Talmud in front of the Rav, because that's a design. Why are you not giving kavod? Right? So Amar so here you clearly see you could give kavod. So Amar Abaya, Kula Mishum Kavod the Kohen Gadol, the whole thing is because of the kavod of the Kohen Gadol. It's a kavod for the Kohen Gadol, for the Torah to be handed over to all the Chashuvim and then handed over to him. Fine. Kohen Gadol Oimid, and the Kohen Gadol would stand. Mechlal Shu Yoshev. It sounds like till now he was sitting. For Anan Tanan on Talmud Beis, we learned in a Mishnah. Ein Yeshiva B'Azara Elul Malchei Beis David B'Vad. There's no sitting in the Azara, only to the kings of Beis David. Shenemer V'Yavei Melech David Yashuv Nei Hashem. And they sat in front of Hashem. Mashma, everybody else can't stand in front of Hashem. Can't sit in front of Hashem. So our answer is because Rav Chisda Bezos Nashim, Hachanav Bezos Nashim. Rav Chisda says that it was talking about Ezos Nashim. So to here we're talking about Ezos Nashim, meaning he doesn't have the same kedusha. Ezos Nashim doesn't have the same kedusha, so he was able to sit there. And where did Rav Chisda say his din? He said it. This kasha, because Meisvei, the Tanya Heichen Karen Boy. Where did they read? Meaning, where did they read the Sefer Torah, right? So in the Azara, that's the first pshat. It was in the regular and Azara, the courtyard. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, Harabayis. They read it on the Harabayis, not in the Azara. Shenemar v'yikrabay the Fanai lifnei harachayiv asher lifnei shar hamayim. They read it in the street, in front of the street that was in front of the shar hamayim. Rav Chisda be'ezos nashim. Rav Chisda says it was in ezos nashim. How do you know? I'm sorry, no. So that's it. He says it was ezos nashim. So therefore, that's where the Sefer Torah was read. So that's where the Kohen Gadol was sitting to. Okay, my gadol. Right. So what does the pasuk mean when it says "Vayivarach ezos Hashem halakim hagadol"? Right. That's the pasuk we just said, which literally means the great Hashem. So what is gadol? Amar Rav Yosef. Amar Rav. Shegadol b'shem mefarish. He was megadol him with the shem mefarish. Right, the Yud Kei Vav Kei. Rav Gidol Amar Baruch Hashem Elokei Yisrael min Olam V'ad Olam. Right, first gebenched is Hashem from this world to the next world, which was a bracha that was said more in the Beis Hamikdash. Yeah. Fine. So Amalei Abaye the Rav Dimi. So Abaye said to Rav Dimi. Maybe it means for Shem Mefarish. So no, we didn't say Ezra was in the Gvulim. right? He said he would not have said the word, the Yud Kei Vav Kei. That was only meant for the Beis Hamikdash. And he wouldn't. He stood on in a migdal, in a what do you call it? A tower of wood, made out of wood, to speak. What does it mean that what does this mean? He means that Ezra said the Shem of Farish. So you see, he did say the Shem of Farish. So Gemara answers Hirasha. So that was a Hirasha, right? Since they were getting together to bust up the Yetzirah for avodah Zara, so it was a special time, so he was allowed to, which the Gemara is now going to discuss. But Yitzchak Hashem Elokim b'kol gadol, and he called out to Hashem in a great voice. Again, my Omar. What did they say to Hashem? So Omar Ravi, Temer Rav Yochanan, Baya Baya. Yeah, so that's like a lashon of like a tzara, like a kvetch. Yeah, Hainu, Hai Dachrinu L'Mikdash. Right, this is what destroyed the first Beis Hamikdash. The Kali LaHechle, and it burned up the Heichel. The Katlinu L'Kulu Tzadik, and it killed all the tzaddikim. V'Galinu L'Yisrael Me'aron, and it made Klal Yisrael go to Gullus. V'Dayin Meraked Beinon, and it's still dancing what at us in front of us. Meaning they're referring to avodah Zara, which is what caused the first Beis Hamikdash to be destroyed. So Klum Yavisalon, right? Why did you Klum Yavisalon? Why did you give it to us? Ella L'Kavuli Bei Igra, to get schar for overcoming it. Lo Iu Beinon v'lo Agra Beinon. We don't want it, and we don't want the schar either. Meaning, normally would say keep giving us a mitzvah, and like this we'll get schar for keeping it. They're saying, but now we're losing the war. So keep your mitzvah, and we'll pass the schar. We'll pass over on the schar. So Nofalahu Piska Meirakia, paper fell down from the sky. Tavakasaba emes, and on the paper it said the word emes, meaning that Hashem agreed with their thinking to stop the type of avodah Zara, and therefore Yidden wouldn't fail in their nisayon of not doing avodah Zara. Samrav Chanina. We hear from this that a seal of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the word emes, because Hashem obviously agreed with them. So what happened? They sat in a tainus for 3 days and 3 nights. Yeah, which is what Esther did also. Masru nehalilu, and they handed over the taiva for avodah Zarah was given over to them. Yeah, Nofak also kiguria denura. So what came out was looking a lion, a baby lion that was in fire. Beis Kodesh Kedoshim came out of the Kodesh Kedoshim. Amar lahu Navi Yisrael. So the Navi said to Yisrael, Hainu Yitzar avodas gecham. The Navi told him that's the Yitzar for avodah Zarah. Shenemar v'yomer zois arisha. I don't know exactly how that pasuk tells you that this lion, this baby lion that was in fire is representing the avodah Zara. Okay, but that's what the pasuk says.
I think it's just because Zois means you can point. Zois is there, you can point to it. So immediately when they said the avodah Zara should go, this came out. Oh, Zois arisha. That must be the Yitzhak.
So what are you saying? So it had nothing to do with the kohen. It had nothing to do with the lion. Just stop me saying this must be.
The lion was the first thing they saw. This must be the first thing that happened after. That's got to be the Yitzhak.
I hear. Okay, I hear. Okay, so Bahadi the Tafsule, when they grabbed it, Ishtamet Beinisa Mamazia, it slipped out of it a piece of hair from its what do you call it? From its mane, Rama Kala, and it was lifted up its voice, Parsi, and the voice was so loud it was heard for 400 parses, right? Which is what a parses 4 mil, and a mil like we learned the other day is a tchum. Right, so that's 2,000 amas, so it's 800,000 amas, right? Correct. Yeah. No. Okay, whatever the cheshbon is, apart, whatever, it went 400 parses. Yeah, and a mill is 8,000. So 8 times 4, I'm sorry. 8 times 4 is how much? 16, 32. It's 32,000. 32,000. Yeah. No, 300.
320,000.
320,000, right? 320,000 amos, which is approximately 500,000 feet.
It says it's the size of the whole land of Israel.
Is that what it says?
What, 400
it
parcels
500?
by 400?
Right, we had
parcels
we had that before. Taka, we had that before.
in Megillah, it says it in Megillah, and it's in Bamidbar, whatever.
Yes, we had it once before that something went over the whole earth. So what was that? No, it wasn't the Keteris. Keteris only reached the Keteris only reached to wasn't 400.
Because the Keteris reached Gilgal.
Yeah.
Keteris of Yom Kippur. They said if Gilgal is the furthest point from Yerushalayim, so it reached the whole Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah. Okay, I hear. Okay, whatever it is, it was a far away. So Amru, Heichi Nevid. So they said, what should we do now? Right? Dilma Chas v'Shalom Rachmei Le'emin Shemayim. Maybe if this lion, this avodah Zara, this avodah Zara, the taiva for avodah Zara is gonna call out so loud that Hashem is gonna have to listen to him. Amrlahu Navi. So the Navi said, should you beduda da'avra v'chafyu lefumi ba'avra. Put him into a dud. A dud is a metal container made out of lead, and cover it with lead, and that will keep him quiet. Yeah. Why? Da'avra mishav shav kala, because lead absorbs sound. Shenemar v'yomer zayis harisha. And the bad thing says, "Vayishlach Isa el toicha efa," and they put it into the efa. Vayishlach es even oiferes alpia, and they put a stone made out of lead on top of it. Amru, so they said, "Hayil ve'es rotzen," who since it's the es rotzen, niboy rachma yetzu davera. Let's have rachmanos on the yetzu hara for avera of znus. Oh rachme. So they said they had rachmanos. V'im sabayadaya when it was given over to their hands. Amru lahu. So then the taiva for znus said, "Chazu dikat lisule lahu." If you're gonna kill me, right? Kal ya'ama, the whole world's gonna finish. Is gonna stop. The whole world's gonna disappear. Right? The famous Gemara. Chavshu t'lasa yama. So they decided they're gonna put it into jail for 3 days. Ubo biasa bas yama b'chol eretz Yisrael, and they looked for a beya, for an egg that was 1 day old in the whole eretz Yisrael, and they didn't find it because an egg comes from male and female, and since there was no longer any taiva, so there's no longer any eggs. So Amri, so they said, "Heichi Nevid, what should we do? Nachtale, we're going to kill it."
There was no taiva for the eggs either, for the animals either.
Yes,
Right,
correct.
right.
Yeah,
okay,
correct. They totally wiped out the taiva for the whole situation. So Amri Heichi Nevid. So what are we going to do? Nachtaline Kal Yama. If we're going to kill the Yetzer Hara for this, then the whole world's going to get destroyed. So we're gonna have a halfway. We should ask Rachmanis that it should be for half. So that I don't know what this means. The Gemara, the Hashem don't give half. He's either all or nothing type of thing. I don't know what right. He gives all or nothing. So you ain't getting half. So so what they did is they put chal in the eyes. Chol, I'm sorry. Right, the eye medication, and then for Shavkun they let it get. Then they released it from the jail. And what that helped is that at least it took away the desire for men and his relatives, at least. So there was no longer any taiva for relatives. Right? Yeah.
I know that was a slip of the tongue, but maybe it was chalenu.
Who?
Like the irony of putting chal on the Yetzer Hara for David.
Right.
Maybe it was chal, not chayil.
I hear. Okay, maybe. I hear.
Yeah, not to go off topic, but what's shot this week's parsha? We did that in order to do the we did the snake. right? And then anybody who got bit by the snake looked at the snake and then they got cured. Wouldn't you think that would cause them to make that into an avodah Zara?
Yeah, that was the Gemara talks about that. No, the Gemara asks that.
That's exactly what happened.
I was going to say, I hope not the Gemara we did so far.
No, it wasn't a Gemara that we did. No. But not that I would remember that anyways necessarily. But
thank you, Parrots. You just gave me another 30 kashas.
Good, now I'm muting you. Now I'm muting you.
You gave me freebies.
Hey, God, he muted you. There you go. Okay, anyways. Fine, so that's that story. So, but Marava Masnu Hachi, in Marava, they taught it this way, meaning Rav Gidol Amar, now we're getting back to what was the word gadol, what was the lashon that was used? Gadol shegidlu b'shem mefarish, that he was megadol Hashem with the b'shem mefarish. Ramasna Amar Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibar, V'hanoira. So it means that what we say, Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibar, V'hanoira. Father Ramasna, Matil Rav Yeshua ben Levi.
Wait, Rav Aaron. And this is another one for Rav Aaron's books. Rav Gidol, Gadol, Gadol.
Oh, I had that order today when I was learning it, and you beat me to it. Yes. Yeah, very good. Rav Gidol, Gadol. Yeah. So we're saying, what Ramasna said, it leaned towards what Rabbi Shimon Levi said. Don't Rabbi Shimon Levi. Anshei Kneses Hagidola. This is a wild Gemara. I can't say this Gemara. I cannot say understand. I'm not saying I can understand other Gemaras, but this one is really. Why were they called Anshei Kneses Hagidola? They put a Torah liyosha. They put the crown back to the way it was. Right? Yes. Also, Moshe Omar. Moshe came and said, "Hakel hagadol hagibar v'hanayra." Right? That's the lashon that we say. The Hakel that's great and powerful and awesome. Also, Yirmiah came along and said, Nachrim mekarkarin behechalei. The Nachrim, meaning the Goyim, are making noise in the Heichal. I mean, they took over the Beis Hamikdash. Where is the awesomeness of Hashem? Clearly, the Goyim are not seeing this awesomeness, right? So loyamar noira. So therefore, he said. So he stopped saying the word noira. It just reminds me, there was a conversation in my house Friday night whether my kids are scared of me or not. So my son said, your kids are scared of you. I said, are they really? How come when I try and get them out of bed, nobody budges? All right, they ain't scared of me. All right, if they'd be scared, then right. So that's basically what Yirmiah is saying. What they can't possibly think that they're scared of Hashem if they're running around the Beis Hamikdash to Goyim, right? So therefore, Lo Yamar Noira. He stopped saying Noira. He changed Moshe Rabbeinu's davening, and he took out one word. Yirmiah, yeah. Also, Daniel came along. Daniel and said, "Nachrim mishtabdim bibano." The goyim are being mishabed the kids, right? Daniel was during the Golos, the 70 years of Golos, being the Bayasushan Bayasheni, and the Yidden were having all sorts of tzaras. Ayek v'roisav. Where is the power of Hashem? Layamar Gibor. So he took out Gibor, right? Which means that he must have done it for Klai Yisrael. He must have made an announcement. And he didn't just do it in his private Shemona Esrei. He told everybody in Klai Yisrael, stop saying it. Right? Okay. So also in Uva Amru, then came along the Anshei Kneses Hagidola and they said, Adarab, Zuhi Gvuras Gvurasei. This is the strength of Hashem. Shekovish is Yitzray, because what he's doing is he's being Kovish as Yetzer. Shenoisen Erech Apayim L'Rashayim. That he's giving Erech Apayim to the Rishayim, and he's not punishing them. Meaning it just shows how, I guess, patient, for lack of a better word, right? And this is taka. This is awesome. Because if it was not for the awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how is it possible for Yidden to last so long amongst all the goyim who are looking to get them? Right? So therefore, they put back to the davening Hakel Hagadol Hagibar V'hanayra. Okay, so that's the Gemara. So Gemara asks the obvious kasha, Rabbanan Hechi Avdi Hachi Bakri Takata the Takin Moshe. So Stam, it's interesting that the Gemara refers to them as Rabbanan. They're not the Rabbanan. I'm saying they were Nevi'im, right? Rabbanon, okay, with Rabbanon, Hechi Avdi Hachi V'Akri Takanta Takan Moshe. How are they uprooting but something that Moshe said? So Rabbi Lazar said, "Metaisha Yaidin V'Kadosh Baruch Hu Shamiti Hu." That because they knew that Hashem is truthful, right, and doesn't like fake. Lefikach like Kizbuboy, they couldn't say anything false about it. Meaning, so therefore they're saying, well, the Hashem is not showing these things, so therefore, how could we say that he is if he really isn't? Right. So that's where they were coming from. Right. So okay, I don't know. I can't say I understand that pshat, because I mean the Gemara is saying why the Anshei Kneses Hagidola had pshat in it, right? That he did have patience, or whatever you want to call it. That was the awesomeness, and Yirmiah and Daniel didn't see that, right? So okay, I don't know. It's a hard Gemara to understand. Fine. Okay, I guess we'll stop because the next Gemara is really connected to the Gemara after that. We'll do that tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem. Okay, fine. A good Nacht, a good Woch. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good Woch.